Cal Ruddy, welcome to Drinks with MJ.
Hello MJ.
Hello, cheers.
Nice one for having me on the show.
I know.
Pleasure to be here.
You're
nice
welcome.
To be here.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Bushmills Irish whiskey with a bit of lemonade in it.
Beautiful.
Just a little bit though.
Beautiful. Cal, what year, how old was you when you got diagnosed with, I'm just going to go straight into it.
Go for it,
You've
go for it,
seen
yeah.
the show, baby.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So what age was you when you got diagnosed with dyspraxia?
So I was around 8 years old when I was diagnosed with dyspraxia. So I have Asperger syndrome, so it all sort of ties together on the neurodiversity spectrum really. But yeah, I was around that age when my mum and dad sort of noticed, you know, my coordination difficulties and things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, emotionally, you know, I was a little bit different to all the other kids in the school and
what
and
did they notice with you?
They just noticed that, like, you know, like kids, you know, other kids at the school were a bit more active, a bit more coordinated, shall we say, and all that kind of thing. So, you know, just little telltale signs. But then, my mum was advising me by the school, maybe, you know, looking to getting a diagnosis, it might help, you know, with future support and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. It's a part of who I am. Do you know what I mean?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what's magic in that as well? We both got diagnosed at such a young age. I was 5.
Oh really?
When I got diagnosed with dyspraxia. Well, to be honest, I was even younger because I couldn't crawl. I couldn't. My mum put me on like my little mat with my dad, and she had the camera out and like everything, and I didn't move. I just looking at them like this, and so that was like a bit of a concern, but it wasn't like the ultimate concern. It was when I started getting a little bit older, and there was like certain tasks that I was struggling to do. She got pulled actually by the school psychologist.
Oh really?
Yeah, and they said like, we think we're gonna like put forward for dyspraxia, and at the time, you were 8. You know, people like dyspraxia, like my mum, you know, she didn't even know what it was. She was like, what? How was that for you growing up with that?
Yeah, I think the thing is though, and it's great to see in the last few years especially, people are more, there's less stigma around these kind of things now, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, especially like with
But what about growing up in the 90s?
Growing up in like, late 90s, early 2000s, it was difficult because there wasn't that much information out there, you know, in comparison to now. You look on the internet and there's all sorts of help pages and you know, support networks and all that kind of thing. And yeah, I'd definitely say like I'd grown up with Asperger's and dyspraxia and things like that. It has been a struggle at times, you know. It hasn't, not every day has been like, you know, easy for me. But I found.
How do you feel growing up with dyspraxia and Asperger's has affected your childhood?
I'd definitely say, you know, it did provide a challenge, you know, during my childhood and, you know, well, throughout my life really, you know, even now I'm 26, but, you know, it still presents challenges to my daily life. Totally. But you can't let these things define you, do you know what I mean? I've found something with music, like my music is my therapy. Yeah. It helps me through, you know, it helps me, you know, overcome these things in my life. And the kind of thing that I'm trying to get across is I want to try and help people, you know, I want people to, you know, see me, you know, being open about having Asperger's and, you know, dyspraxia. You know, they can have a go too, you know, they can join a band, they can do something creative, you know, something like that. It's not a barrier. It's just because, you know, just because you're a little bit different and things are a little bit different, it doesn't mean that you can't do things, you know. Absolutely. Cheers
to that, love.
Oh, no, cheers to have you on the show.
Like, being diagnosed at 5 years of age, I was thinking, oh, am I not meant to live my dream, or am I not meant to do what I want to do in life? But actually, it's part of my armour, my dyspraxia. It makes me MJ, it makes me who I am. Definitely.
It's part of your identity, isn't it? Because I think people sometimes think, you know, people do, like, you know, there is a little bit of stigma sometimes, and people think, like, you know, oh, they're different. Yeah. But until you get to know someone and know what, you know, walk in their shoes for a few miles and you see what they've gone through and, you know, what they've experienced, and then you can sort of comment them, but like, yeah, people just judge sometimes, don't they? But
how was your school days, and did you go to college?
Yeah.
How was your school years and going to college, like with the battling with mental health and a disability?
I was actually really lucky to go to a school in West Kirby that, you know, supported people with you know, Asperger's and autism and things like that, and, you know, coordination difficulties. Yeah. West Kirby school. So yeah, I some people I know. I'm not going to obviously go into it on camera, but people sometimes are like, oh, I don't want to let other people know, you know, I've been on to this school kind of thing. But it made me who I am.
Amazing.
I'm very proud of the support and the nurture and the love that I had, you know, from a young age. and even into my adulthood, you know, it's been wonderful.
That's fantastic.
You know.
What about today? I know you're like busy, and you went to Nashville to write an album.
Yeah.
How was that? Like
that was
flying over there?
That was an incredible experience. So that was 4 years ago now.
How did that come about?
So I went to a networking event in London. Well, it's the long story. I mean, you know, we're having a little bevy. We're having a chat.
I don't think we cheese enough on this show.
Cheers.
Carry on, darling.
Cheers, viewers. So we're supposed to go out on a little tour of California in February 2017, and there's a big fundraising campaign.
Yeah.
People who are watching, I'm very grateful for all the support as well. Thank you. And people, you know, donated to that, and then I couldn't go because I was ill. I've got a really bad immune system, so I had a few health issues going on, so I couldn't go.
That must have been tough.
It was mentally that was really hard to be told, you know, I can't go out and you know, fulfill my dream kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then,
how did you feel in that moment then, being told that?
Oh,
That's such a young age.
You know, it was awful really, because I was so excited and so motivated by the prospect of going to America and, you know, doing all this kind of stuff, and then to have it sort of pulled away from me was hard to take in. But then I put an update on the fundraising page, and I went to a networking event in London, and I met a guy called Alan McKendry Palmer, who's a songwriter and producer from Nashville in America. So I ended up coordinating a trip with him in September.
Amazing.
So I went out to America and went to Nashville and wrote some songs and played some shows out there. And
How was that?
It was incredible. Honestly, it made me the artist I am today. The things I learned in that trip and the experience I had there, it just sort of solidified who I am as a person, as an artist. It was just such a, you know, it was groundbreaking for me to be able to play, you know, in America and write songs in America.
How was your response in America to your music?
They loved it. They literally, I remember playing my first show and I was so nervous before like going on stage.
Yeah.
And
as we all are.
This guy who was sitting next to me, he was like, "They'll love you, man. Like just say you're from Liverpool and they'll love it." So yeah, that was cool. But it was just such a great experience, and you know, I'm really grateful for all the support I've had for people, you know, donating to the page all those years ago and getting me out there and support me ever since. You know, it really does mean a lot to me.
Oh, that's amazing. So when did your musical chapter start? A singer, a songwriter, how did that come about for you?
So I've always had a love for music, you know, I've always been interested in music since I was a child, really, since I was a little kid. It was my grandparents who inspired my love of music, really. I'm half Irish on my dad's side.
Amazing.
So I grew up with a lot of love for Irish music, and, you know, their heyday, you know, they were sort of my age in the late 50s, early 60s. So they were listening to Elvis and Buddy Holly and the Everly Brothers and Johnny Cash and people like that. And, you know, growing up as a young kid, I was like listening to all their records, you know, getting ready for Sunday dinner, you know, we'd be listening to Elvis, you know,
and singing along.
Yeah, we'd singing along, and, you know, sort of bonding with that, really.
So was that created, do you think, your artistry today?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, going on from that, my granddad, when I was 15, he got diagnosed with cancer. So he knew he wouldn't be there for my birthday, but he bought me my first guitar. And you know, he said, you know, I can see the passion that you have for music. Like, try it out, see how you get on with the guitar. And within a year after his death, I used that as a coping mechanism, really. So, you know, it was a hard time, but I got through that by, you know, playing music and writing songs. I played my first show when I was 16, so a year on from when he passed away. And yeah, I'm always proud of that connection I've had to my granddad and my family, you know.
What a story as well. Like, so when you go out there, it's every show you do, or every time you sing, I bet you just think in your mind, like, this is for you. Yeah. This is for you, Nan and Grandad.
Well, I definitely believe in a spiritual sense. I definitely believe he's watching down. Well, yeah, my nan's passed away since, sadly. But she, I definitely believe that they're both, you know, smiling down and...
Oh, they'd be so proud,
support me and cheer me on, you know, that kind of thing.
I want to know what's next for you. What's next for Cal Ruddy?
So what's next? So I released my debut album last year. So the songs I wrote in Nashville, I recorded over a 2-year period in Liverpool.
Amazing.
I had to get them right. I mean, I'm a perfectionist like that. I have to, you know, attention to detail is my thing. But I released my album last year. That's had great, you know, international support.
Amazing.
But yeah, next year I'm looking to release some new music and finally I can get out and play shows again, which is fantastic because I thrive, you know, on singing live and playing live. So I'm
and
just looking forward to it. And
you've been with your lovely lady, Gwen.
Oh,
How long have you guys been together?
2 years now. She's very supportive. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you meet?
Online.
Lovely.
Very, very modern, isn't it? Yeah.
Very honest. Very, very honest
very
as well. And how are you guys?
We're wonderful, yeah. And, you know, like we obviously come from different backgrounds and things like that, but we come together and, you know, we support each other. And I think that's what makes a great partnership, you know. That's what makes us like thrive and work, you know. So
are you amazing? Are you excited now to like get back out there and play gigs again and like just feel that like buzz of like being out there with the audience and people? It
definitely is a buzz. I think for me, as much as I love like songwriting is a great passion of mine and everything else that you know that I do in my career. But there's something special about looking out into the audience and seeing people having a good time. I love to make people happy. That's what I'm doing this for, and you know it's a real thrill, and to have that taken away with you know with all the you know the things going on with the pandemic and everything like that.
Cal, can you play us a little something now?
Oh, okay then. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yay! What is this song you're gonna play?
Let's check them in tune.
What's the song?
So this song is a song from my debut album, Elliston Place.
Oh, lovely.
This is a song about my battles with anxiety and depression, and probably coming to terms with who I am, really, you know. So
love it already.
This one's called Buying Time. I've been running in circles, chasing my tail. It's true, I've been lost, and I've been found. It's those days when you can't leave your bed, you can't leave your mind, you're trapped in your own head. You know I wait, and I wait.
Gorgeous lyrics. The lyrics are beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much, MJ.
Thank you. And you know what? You really, really got into that. Like, I felt like I was at a Cal Ruddy concert.
Well, definitely.
I'm having drinks with MJ, with Cal Ruddy.
Drinks with Cal Ruddy now, isn't it?
Yeah, I love having that. Well done. That was fantastic. Lyrics are absolutely beautiful. Really, really, really touching and special. Cal, darling, honey, thank you so much for having drinks with MJ.
It's been a pleasure, MJ. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Cheers, darling, and to the future.
To the future.
Cal Ruddy on Drinks with MJ.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you very much. Cheers, love. Down it, Nicky.
I'll go. Should we just get a little behind the scenes photo? Yeah.